Hello, I'm Bilkis Bahari and you're watching Interview of the Day. Tourism is one of the most important sectors of the economy, and in Kazakhstan, this industry is only beginning to grow. But what does Kazakhstan need to do to become a well-known tourist destination country? Join me in today's program as I interview the Deputy Chairman of Kazakh Tourism, Kairat Sadvakassov. Thank you for joining me in today's interview.
My pleasure.
First of all, what is the role of Kazakh Tourism in developing the tourism industry in Kazakhstan?
Kazakh Tourism is the first national company carrying the status of DMO, Destination Management and Marketing Organization. Our major role is to promote the tourism product of Kazakhstan overseas. Secondly, we are in charge of investing, co-investing and attracting investment into Kazakhstan in tourism field. And our third activity is to build capacity of local players.
Do you introduce a yearly tourism promotion to promote Kazakhstan worldwide?
We have our marketing plan, and whereby we focus on 10 priority markets, including China, Russia, India, Germany, Netherlands, UK, as well as several South Asian countries like Malaysia, Singapore. And based on the specificity of the market, we have certain initiatives planned. It's both in digital and traditional marketing. We attend exhibitions, we travel with road shows, we bring interested tour operators or press from that particular markets into Kazakhstan on FAM or blog tour or press trips, and there's advertisement that is currently underway on different international TVs and so on. So basically we are now in the stage of brand awareness. The first 3 years, I should say, we should be spending more on getting the name out, so more people in this specific markets will hear Kazakhstan. Some of them will hear it for the first time. So further on we'll go on with more specific approach. We'll be targeting segments in order for them to learn more about Kazakhstan as a tourism destination. And of course, we have a focus in Kazakhstan, Almaty and Nur-Sultan and the surrounding areas, Almaty region, Akmola region, are the targets for us in order to take them out and to advertise them as the first priority due to readiness of the infrastructure, due to readiness of product itself. So answering your questions, I should say yes, we do have a program, but it's not a separate program based on a yearly approach.
I'm sure that many people have known Nur-Sultan and Almaty by now, given the various events that were held in these cities. But what is Kazakh Tourism's plan to promote other cities in Kazakhstan?
Kazakhstan is a big country, as you know, and this is both a gift and a curse, I should say, given the big distances and the roads and other infrastructure. So it is quite difficult to be able to promote all the destinations equally. And our focus, as mentioned, was on Nur-Sultan and Almaty. However, other destinations are being prepared now. So we are in the process within the state-wide tourism program. We're in the process of development of other areas. So we are concentrating on so-called map of touristification, which embraces 10 regions. We call them top 10. So this includes both Almaty and Nur-Sultan. The other areas are Turkestan, about 6 or 7 national parks like Charin, Kolsay, Bayanavul, Burabay, and as well as the western part of Kazakhstan, which is the shore of the Caspian Sea. So these top 10 regions are following their development according to master plans, which were developed recently. And once they're ready, that should be within 1, 2, 3 years time frame. So our plan is to continue with Nur Sultan, Akmola region, Almaty and Almaty region for the next couple of years. So the next one up is most probably Turkestan and Mangistau region in the west, where in Mangistau on the Caspian Sea we are expecting a new development by summer of next year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we will have a new resort commission there, which will be, of course, attracting tourists for leisure, sun, sea kind of experience.
It's interesting that you mention Turkestan, because if I'm not mistaken, currently there's a lot of developments going on there as well. And there's also a pilgrimage tourist package that is being introduced.
That is correct. Turkestan, as a regional hub inside the so-called Silk Road region of Kazakhstan, is very important because of the several shrines that are available there, and pilgrims, both from Kazakhstan, from around the regions, visit that sacred place, the mausoleum of Hoja Ahmet Yasawi, Arslanbab mausoleum. So this place is definitely important. And the positioning of that area is not only pilgrimage, but I should say, first of all, it's the Silk Road destination of Kazakhstan due to proximity to Uzbekistan. This gives us an opportunity of promoting the entire region as a Silk Road, and then promote trans-border tours, because tourists coming from far abroad, they of course are looking to visiting several destinations. So this way we have a competitive edge of offering 2 countries or 3 countries at the same time. And Turkestan is seeing a lot of developments. The new airport will be commissioned next year. We see a lot of improvements, new hotels, construction of hotels underway. And overall you see the development, and the new bustling region should be there in basically in no time. And in general, the Silk Road product, it's very important, and one of the most popular travel products in the world. And of course, we will hopefully be receiving a lot of tourists who will be enjoying both the Silk Road attractions as well as maybe launching of rockets at Baikonur, and maybe proceeding further westward to visit the Caspian Sea and many other attractions.
What are some of the challenges to develop the tourism industry in Kazakhstan? Is infrastructure a big challenge?
Infrastructure is one of the challenges. However, in the past few years, we've seen a lot of developments, first of all, in terms of road, the pavement, and as you know, the Western China, Western Europe corridor, the biggest chunk of it, 2,700 kilometers, go through Kazakhstan. Luckily, providing access to most of the attractions, including Turkestan, Baikonur, Saragash, Charin Canyon, and many other popular attractions. However, the so-called last mile, once you're off the highway, you need to get to specific attraction, and there you see some challenges with building smaller roads. But that one is being addressed too within the state-wide tourism development program. On top of infrastructure, we see some challenges of foreign tourists when it comes to airlift. People coming here, they either don't see enough flights, or they probably find some of the airfares a bit more expensive than usually in this region. So that, I should say, issue is also being addressed within the state program. But other than that, I think the big thing that we're missing, and this is also corroborated by our partners overseas, it's marketing. People need to know more about Kazakhstan, what we have to offer, content in English and other languages. For example, last year we've launched Kazakhstan.travel, a new national tourism website, which is currently in 6 languages. By end of the year it will be in 7 languages, including German, Korean, Chinese, and English, of course, French, and of course social media, the YouTube channels, and so on. Everything should have a plethora of content for each type of traveler, and basically eco or ethnic or being at entertainment or events. This is basically the core that we have to offer. All of this has to be supplied with content, both video, text, and images.
What is your strategy now? Promoting domestic tourism, or are you expecting high number of international tourist arrivals?
Basically, it's both. So we are positioned to promote domestic and inbound tourism. If we look at the ratio, I would say maybe 70% of our resources are spent on bringing inbound tourists. The rest we dedicate to developing and promoting domestic travel. As we may see, a lot of travelers now choose to stay at home, explore new destinations. Some of the people are well educated and well traveled already, and they look into Kazakhstan as the new destination, although it's their own country. So we have to kind of raise the awareness about the country. Many of our countrymen, while looking at the videos that were dedicated to overseas potential tourists, they look at these videos and that evokes wow effect. Some of them don't even know that such place exists in Kazakhstan. So bringing both patriotic senses, bringing curiosity together, we would like to raise this awareness and raise curiosity and let people explore Kazakhstan, because domestic traveler is the traveler that our travel industry, our trade can actually practice on, to be honest, because you know, travel industry and hospitality in general is very new to Kazakhstan. So domestic traveler is actually the one which will let the trade both challenge something in terms of infrastructure, in terms of service, and of course further improve in order to be able to provide the best to inbound tourists.
What about the budget to develop the industry? Does the industry receive enough budget to be developed?
It's a very good question. I should say budgets are never enough, especially when it comes to marketing. We have to split here the infrastructure and the marketing part. For marketing part, looking at the benchmark, we see that our competitive set, neighboring countries and other well-established destinations, they spend considerably more than we do for marketing. In terms of infrastructure, if we put together in one basket everything that is being spent by different ministries, by local municipalities, it's a pretty big number, but the focus the money has been spent on is not always directly related to tourism. For example, roads, when they have to be built, they should carry this significance of, first of all, connecting settlements between each other. But some of the roads leading towards different attractions, they're roads into just a canyon or just a lake. There is no major settlement there. So we have to identify tourism as one of the priorities. So roads should be built irregardless whether it leads to a settlement, city or township or not. Secondly, the subsidizing of international travel, also very important, because this is something very new and hasn't been experienced before. And we look at our neighbors and you see that countries are willing to provide some sort of bonus to travel organizers who bring certain number of tourists. So we're definitely missing budget for that type of business support. Kazakhstan is generating almost $2 billion in tourism industry, and at least, I should say, maybe 5% of that amount should be given back to the industry for promotion, for infrastructure, and so on.
From my understanding, one of the ways to develop tourism in a country is to have an international aviation hub, which means that the said country must allow other foreign airlines to fly into the country. So is Kazakhstan ready for this?
The airlift is very important, as I mentioned. However, attracting more airlines sometimes means hurting local businesses, so we have to be careful here. So I would say yes, we should be looking at liberalizing the airspace, but it has to be done properly and gradually in order to meet both expectations and I should say bottom lines of all of the stakeholders, including local airlines. But in general, prices are found to be quite high by many of the tourists. However, we are on a good track working with the national carrier to come up with better deals when it comes to certain groups or certain destinations or certain events, just like Pata Travel Mart, the event which we hosted jointly with Air Astana last week. By means of co-organizing this event, we were able to offer considerable discounts for the coming hosted buyers and sellers of the exhibition.
I'm down to my last question. What type of tourism that Kazakhstan can develop? What is your unique selling point?
In general, we position our travel offer as 4E. The first E being ecotourism, second ethnic tourism, third events, and fourth is entertainment. So within Kazakhstan, it's numerous landscapes, different types of tourism product, culture, and so on. We have to distinguish certain focus. We don't want to be everything to everyone, because at the end you will be nothing, so we want to concentrate. And we think our strongholds include eco in the first place, between 13 national parks that we have, unspoiled nature, a lot of adventure activities. We think ecotourism is one of the best unique selling propositions. Secondly, it's ethnic. You know that we're sharing nomadic past, nomadic culture. We would like to showcase this to the world. You know, yurt, the dwelling of nomads, has become a big deal in the world. You see a lot of yurts popping up in different parts of the world, but where yurt actually found its origin was here in the steppes of present days Kazakhstan. So we'd like people to come and see the nomadic past of the people, hunt with eagles, stay overnight in the yurt, try local delicacies. When it comes to events and entertainment, you know, Nur-Sultan and Almaty has become a major scene for different types of events, being it business or sports or political events. So we think we're capable of developing and moving forward with these 4 primary products. However, there are also several niche products, including space tourism, but tourism is not only unique selling proposition, it's also TSP, timely selling proposition. So having said this, we have to look at the trends. For example, you've all seen Chernobyl series shot by HBO. And you know, here in Kazakhstan, we have also something to share about dark tourism. The dark part of it was Semipalatinsk nuclear range, or Karlak, the concentration camps. So of course, following this kind of hype, we can timely sell new niche products. So if something else pops up in the world and some certain type of tourism becomes very popular at that particular time, we have to be flexible and be able to respond, to offer to market needs.
All the best to you on that. Thank you very much for joining me in today's program, Kairat.
Thank you. Very glad to be here.
That was the Deputy Chairman of Kazakh Tourism, Kairat Sadvakassov. You're watching Interview of the Day with me, Bilkis Bahari. Thanks for watching and see you again soon, only on Kazakh TV.